Hi everyone, Steve here from My Crypto World. Hope your week has been fantastic. We're going to have a look at the week that was last week in the cryptocurrency world, and then we're going to have a look at my current portfolio and where I think the price predictions are set for 2021 and possibly 2022. Okay everyone, let's just have a look at what's happened this week on the crypto market. So again, we're looking at the total crypto market cap, which is basically a combination of every cryptocurrency all thrown into one. Just gives you a really good view of how the market's been moving. Now last week we were in a position where we'd come down through, this is a daily chart. So we were sitting around about here actually, and we'd had a week of pretty much a bit of pain if you're an investor, a trader, a day trader or a weekly trader. You were in a fair bit of pain if you hadn't been shorting the market. And when I made the video last time, we were talking about that the market hadn't signaled yet whether it was going to be a bullish or bearish time. One of the key indicators to see where it's going is to see that the previous all-time high is broken, but not only broken, it actually has to close above it. Closing, opening, highs and lows, I spoke about that in other previous videos. So our previous all-time high was a market cap of, where are we at here? High was 2.305 trillion, and then we fell pretty sharply away from that. The market came back up again, but at our last video it had broken above it, so it broke above that blue line there that you can see, but it hadn't closed above it. And if it doesn't close above it, it just shows it's a little bit weaker than what we want. Really, for confirmation of where the market's heading, you want to close above that. 2 days later, it did that on the green bar that you can see there. Quite a big day on the crypto world market. So we've got a low there of 2.09 trillion, and it went up to a high of 2.39 trillion. So quite a big move that week. But the good thing is, at the end of that day, or the end of that end of that trading day, it closed actually above its previous all-time high. Now, what that does, it just simply means or signifies that the market has a higher probability of continuing to go up for the short to medium term than it does coming down. It doesn't mean you won't have down days. They do happen as well, but the market is quite stable and strong, which is what we want to see. And again, if you're a day trader or a weekly trader, that's very good news for you. If you're an investor, more of a long-term buy and hold strategy, similar to what I do, the market moves shouldn't affect you too much. Once you've been through a few of them, you certainly get used to the emotional roller coaster ride, but I think things are looking very stable now. So let's jump over and have a look at the some of the portfolios that I'm holding, some of the coins I'm holding in my portfolios, and let's just go through a quick price prediction on those. Okay, so we're back now. Obviously, this would have been instant for everybody watching, but we're now a whole day after my last portion of that video. I had a few technical difficulties, and then it one thing ran into another, and I didn't actually get enough time to finish the last video to go through my portfolio holdings. So I thought I'd do a quick update today, 1 day later. So nothing much has changed today in the market. It's pretty much stable. But as I said, let's go through the top. I thought instead of listing everything out, what I might do is just go through the top 10, the positions that I have for them in my portfolio, what percentage they make up, where I think the coin's going from a dollar perspective, and then I might finish off with my last top 10. So I actually own 20 coins at the moment. 10, we'll do the top 10 in detail. We'll do the bottom 10 in just a quick run through, and then I'm going to go through some coins that I think are still worthwhile buying. So let's go. So most of you already know Theta is my number one holding. It is 28% of my portfolio. Now, I purchased Theta and when it was 48 cents. Now it is, all as of yesterday, it's $16.17. So it's been a really, really good coin that's grown. Overall 3,221%, which is just phenomenal. It's still not the biggest coin that it's not the coin that I have that has moved the most though. Now, earlier in the year, my price prediction for Theta was probably around about $40 to $50. I've since moved that. It hasn't really changed much. It's still now at about $80. by the end of this year. It could be as high as $200 to $250 by 2022. So it's still got a long way to grow. They're still doing amazing things. It will change the way, in my opinion, and again, this isn't financial advice, it's just my opinion, it will change the way things are done over the internet, especially when it comes to entertainment. So that's my number one holding. My second holding is Cardano. So the code for that is ADA. I bought that at 20 cents roughly. Current price is $2.11, so it's moved a beautiful 949%, and it currently makes up 15.5% of my top 10 in the portfolio. My price prediction for that one has been pretty stable. It hasn't changed. I think it'll hit $10 by the end of 2021. Next in line is T-Fuel. The code for T-Fuel is T-Fuel, and I bought that at just over a cent. Currently it's at 52 cents, and that's been the biggest coin I've had that's been a coin I've had with the biggest moves since owning it. So that's actually moved up to 3,765% since I purchased it. So it's about 500% more than Theta, and it is the number one coin I've got at the moment as far as growth goes. That portfolio, the size of my portfolio of T-Fuel makes up 10.4%. My prediction is that by the end of the year, I actually had a prediction that it would hit $1 by the end of the year. I actually think it'll go past that now. I'm kind of pushing towards a $3 by end of year prediction for T-Fuel. So that's still got a long way to go there if it does that, but I think it's very possible with the way things are going. Remember also their mainnet 3.0 launches very soon. What are we now? So probably about six or 7 weeks. So that will also probably drive a bit of speculative, new buyers into the market, new investors that want to see it grow, want to get on the bandwagon before it's too late. Ripple's my next holding, XRP. I bought that at 32 cents, currently just over $2, $2.08. It's moved 538%. I've had a number of videos on this one regarding the SEC lawsuit and what I think of that. I still think it's a fantastic buy. My price prediction for that is originally it would be $20 by the end of 2021. I do believe that's the case, but it may be early 2022 before it hits that. However, I think in 2022 it'll be a much better year for Ripple, and I predict maybe a $150 Ripple by the end of 2022. Next in line is Zilliqa, ZIL is the code for that one. Bought that at just under 2 cents. Currently it is just over 30 cents. So that's moved up 1,505%, and that makes up 6% of my portfolio. Price prediction for that one was to hit $1 by the end of 2021. I'm going to stick with that. I think it'd probably go over it, maybe $1.20, $1.30 perhaps. But I think it's got still good backing and a good project. So I believe in the coin and what the company's trying to do. Holochain is my next one. Now Holochain, I bought that on a whim when it was 0.0008 of a cent. And it was the lowest holding I had in my portfolio for pretty much an entire year. When I first bought it, it was, I'm going to say it was 0.05% of my entire portfolio. So it was minimal. Now I haven't added any more to Holo. I pretty much get in with what I invest and then I just sit on it. So Holo now is my number, what have we got here? It's in my number 6 position. So it was originally my number 20 and it's moved up to number 6 because of its growth. So as I said, I bought it for less than a cent, less than a tenth of a cent, and it's currently at 2 cents. So that's moved really well at 2,413%. And it makes up now 5.7% of my portfolio, just simply because the price has moved. I haven't readjusted my portfolio from when I buy these stocks. I did earlier on, but certainly over the last probably 9 months, I haven't done much portfolio management at all in the sense of trying to rebalance things or consolidate some of my purchases. I've just kind of left things where they are. I think Holochain's got a really good project behind it. I think they'll do well. And again, as I said, 5.7% of my portfolio. My prediction for that is that we'll hit 10 cents by the end of this year. DigiByte comes in next, DGB. That was purchased for 3 cents. It's currently 19 cents or just under 20 cents, 468%. This is one that it makes up 4.5% of my portfolio, and I still to this day cannot work out why this one has not moved further or faster or quicker. It begs belief. Not too sure why that would be the case. It just is. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes it's not the flavor of the month. It's not it's certainly not a sexy project what they're working on. It's all sort of background stuff because it's to do with security of the blockchain network. But you know what? I think they've got a really outstanding product. And again, that's what I invest in is the product, the disruption that the company's going to cause in the marketplace. So currently at, what did I say here? Just under 20 cents. I predict it'll hit 50 cents well before the end of the year. And certainly, again, this is another one that I think in 2022 will do a lot better. And my prediction for 2022 will be a $5 target. Next, I have Bitcoin. Now, look, I just have Bitcoin because, you know, it was the first, it was the best, it was the greatest. It's a smaller portion of my portfolio now. It only makes up 4.1%. It's currently at $74,000, and I predict it'll hit about 100 to 120 before the end of this year. Chainlink's next, $13.95 I purchased that for. This one I did a few dollar cost averaging in, so I bought it a number of different times throughout the year. The dollar cost average for me was $13.95. Currently it's $63.74, so 357% return, which isn't bad at all. Makes up the same as Bitcoin, 4.1% of my portfolio. And my prediction for Chainlink is $150. I really think it should be several $100s by the time 2022. Maybe we're sort of halfway through the year of 2022. So that's certainly one to get into if you can. And my final one that makes up my portfolio is Bitcoin Cash. Now that currently makes up 3% of my portfolio. Again, this is another one I've dollar cost averaged in. I've bought in several times throughout it. I actually haven't done my sums properly on this one, so I can't tell you exactly what I bought it in for. It was around about $300, maybe $350. Currently sitting at $1,800. My prediction for that was that it would hit 8,000 by the end of this year. Look, it may not quite get to 8,000, but I believe strongly that it could at least get to 6. So my prediction is somewhere between 6 and 8,000 before the end of 2021, and possibly a one for a better year in 2022 that would see the coin hit, between $10,000 and $15,000 easily in 2022. So that makes up the bulk, the first part of my portfolio. So I've gone into a little bit of detail there about that regarding that lot. So what I've got next is the bottom portion of my portfolio. I'll just run through this quickly. I won't go through price predictions or portfolio percentage, but they're all around about the 2% or lower. So coming in is very close to, well, actually it's the same as Bitcoin Cash, around about 3%. It's actually, Bitcoin Cash is about 3.7, so Polkadot is about 3.7 as well. So Polkadot, 3.7%, reserve rights is at 2.1%, Dentcoin I hold is 2% of my portfolio. We've got Stellar at 1.4%, Bitcoin, sorry, I've done Bitcoin Cash, VeChain Thor, some call it Vet Thor, some call it just Thor. It's at 50.57, so 0.5%. Cartesi is one I mentioned a little while ago, maybe only 2-3 weeks ago. Since I mentioned it, actually, that has already grown by 94%. And I mentioned that in my previous video, I'm going to say 3 weeks ago. So that's a bloody good return for 3 weeks old. It was 0.1% of my portfolio. It is now 0.2%. Polygon or Matic is a handle for that one. That makes up 0.2% of my portfolio. Ontology is another new one that I mentioned that do the medical records. That's 0.1% of my portfolio. And that's pretty much it. So I guess really to finish things off, I get asked a lot, what would I buy if I had to get into the market now? So there are a number of different things that you could look at. Again, I'm obviously biased towards my portfolio. It doesn't mean I'm not looking out for other things that are coming up in the marketplace. I do a lot of research around this, but I just feel that I'm very comfortable and kind of centered with the coins that I've got at the moment. I'm not really looking to expand the portfolio. However, if something did come up, of course, I would look at it. So if I had to buy some stock right now or coins, what would I buy? Well, I'd certainly buy more Theta. If I had some spare money, I'd buy Stellar, which is XLM. I would look at buying some Ripple. Again, this is my investment opinion only. Don't go out and sell your house to do this, please. XLM, Ripple, Digibyte. I mentioned that just before, that it's got to be one of the most undervalued stocks. Chainlink's very similar, totally undervalued as far as I'm concerned. Digibyte would be certainly probably one of the ones I'd buy, and I'd easily buy more Bitcoin Cash. Now, some of you have only got a little bit of money to play with. I totally get it. If I had to pick one, it would probably be either Ripple or Digibyte. Theta would come in at number 3, Stellar at number 4, Bitcoin Cash at number 5. They're my predictions for this week and a portfolio update for you. I'll do another portfolio update maybe in another 3 months. Have a good night. It's Mother's Day here in Australia, so happy Mother's Day to all the mums out there. Bye.